I somehow persuade Il to let go. Although we resumed the conversation, he stuck by me closer than ever. We began to discuss God's salvation initiative. Everyone sits in shock as I replay the memory in my head. However, maybe because everyone is used to extraordinary things happening, right away everyone believes it and starts seriously thinking of countermeasures.
その神とやらはいつホールをこじ開けるつもりなのだ。
おそらくは3日後の正午になるでしょう。計画の規模が規模ですから、天崎島に出現したホール以上の巨大なものを開こうとするはずです。
Man, God ain't shit at this point.
いえ、またあのよくわかんねえ腕とか出てきたりしねえだろうな。
Yep, gonna scoop us all out like handfuls of popcorn. Just kidding.
それはないかと。今回は完全にこちらへ座標を固定していますし。
座標って？
Katia asks a question about the new word that popped up.
実は神が私を回収しようとしていた理由は、私が天界の兵器であるほか、もう一つあったのです。むしろこちらが本命と言いますか。
What? Il makes an expression more complicated than ever before and begins to reveal the situation. What you talking about, Willis? For the Salvation Project, God researched the wormhole phenomenon. After devising magic to open them, their assembly experiments were repeated numerous times. Solidus was sent to the human world for these experiments too. However, even with technology from the heavenly world, assembling a stable wormhole to a specific other world proved to be difficult. A direct connection to the human world. Yep. It required a relay point fixed somewhere inside of the heavenly world. In reality, the experiment by the heavenly world to open a wormhole at Amasaki Island failed due to the lack of relay point, which only put stress on the realm's stability. However, that was simply the final experiment before the real event. The heavenly world already found a solution to the problem. That's right, back then Solidus found a reliable gate connecting heaven to earth. Ruh-roh. He discovered, God damn, what's wrong with my voice? He discovered its existence at this shop, along with me taking refuge and living here. The first to react to Il's explanation was Mikado as he hits the table. Jesus.
もしかしてここのゲートがホール構築に必要な中継点になっちゃったってことかい？
Yeah, that's not good. After everyone's surprised at Mikado shouting, we all look toward the room with the gate.
私の脳にはここのゲートを利用した記録が刻まれていますから。
固有霊力観測、座標確定、個体番号
Oh shit, that did happen.
再接続の申請を確認。接続完了。該当個体からの要請を認可。要求された処理の実行を開始する。
Right, he said, "Oh, if this causes me grief, I never want to go through emotions again." And you hear that crazy voice, and then he just shut down like that. With the reconnection back then, precise coordinate information was sent to God. Il says this in an apologetic way.
ごめん、ちょっと話が難しくてついていけないかも。
とってもシンプルに言うと、
Mikado has a cold sweat and points straight up.
神はゲートを目印にこの真上、つまりアンシャンテの上空に救済用のホールを開くつもりなのだね。
は
Right over Enchante?
つまり3日後にはここが人類ピンチの舞台になるってこと？
はい、展開にとってはまさに良好だったでしょうね。姿をくらませていた私を発見できた上、その身に救済計画に必要な全情報が詰め込まれていたわけですから。
That's no good! As Il says this, he makes it sound like everything is his fault. He must feel responsible for it. It's okay, Il. Don't make a face like that.
最終的に神たちの計画を阻止すれば良い話だ。
Y'all make it sound so easy. Thank you. As though saying this, Il returns to his usual smile.
それで阻止する方法は？
Aren't you the polar opposite? You're the devil. Or Demon King, whatever. So you should be able to stop it.
救済計画のための超巨大なホール。すでに構築済みであろうそれを開かせないためには管理者である神を撃つしかありません。しかし、まさに神の見業というか、あまりに巨大すぎるホールを御すべく、神はその身とホールを密に紐づけているはず。故に、ただ神を撃つにしても、加減せずにかのものを破壊すれば、その衝撃が開こうとしているホールを暴走させ、
Oh shit.
まあ、人間界を含めた周囲の世界にとんでもない影響を与えるだろうね。それこそ人間界を含めたあらゆる異世界が天使たちが消失したという謎の危険な世界につながってしまう可能性も。
しかしイル、それはお前の言葉通りであるならば加減せずの結果のようだな。逆に絶妙な加減で神を破壊すれば問題ないということになるのか？
はい、その通りです。なるほどなるほど。仮に神の防御力を100とするならば101の値で破壊する必要がある。そういうことだね。
出力調整系か。俺が一番苦手なタイプだね。
After Mikado's easy to understand example, Mizir already shows signs of giving up. Oh, that's just great. However, according to Il, just hold back on power isn't quite what he's saying. The barrier protecting God was constructed from spirit energy from the furnace and is extremely strong. In terms of the human world, it's much like having the energy of the sun as your ally. Defeating that will require enough spirit energy or some alternative energy to destroy the sun. Mizir can't control himself and everyone else ends up powered down when we're going to Caelm, right? Then Everyone focused their gazes on Ill.
はい。実質対応できるのはカエルムを故郷とする私だけということになりますね。
However, the requirements are difficult. Ill's face darkens as though saying this.
まず大前提として天使の攻撃は神に通じませんし、そもそも神の間近では体の自由すらも奪われる危険性がありますから。
I actually saw that happen before, so my face goes just as dark as Ill's. Energy needed to destroy God. A way to make attacks affect God. A way to oppose God's control. Without these three things, Ill has no chance to defeat God. Then what can we do right when the conversation ends up at a total stalemate?
その件についてだが、ちょいと気になることがある。
Hi, Epilogue. Hi, sweetheart. The voices. Epilogue, welcome back. Did you take care of everything? After meeting up in the human world, Epilogue has gone his own way for a while and returns with a lively response.
おかげさんでな。他の打電師たちも無事 GPM とやらに保護してもらえたぜ。
Aww, you're welcome.
それで入った時に聞こえた神へ抗う方法についてだが、心当たりがなくもね。俺たちが根城にしてた研究所に来てみねえか。
Why would we go back in the fucking place?
研究所ですか？
ああ、あそこは天界カエルムっつう世界、それそのものの黎明期の研究所だ。つまり俺ら天使が生まれる前に人間たちが使用してた施設のはずなんだが、どうしてかそこにお前につながる記述があるんだ。
To Ill, you say? But
おかしいですね。当時はあくまで神の開発が進められていただけで天使という概念はなかったはずですが。
ま、ここで説明するよりは実際に見た方が早いだろうよ。
led by Epilogue, hiding in the presence of Ill and I, we head to Caelm.
ここは
I did not hear him. The moment we enter the laboratory, Ill lets out a heart-rending voice. Excuse me. Okay, whatever. I don't know at this point. Ah, I see. So this was the place. I also recall his memory what we saw in the tower. Ill approaches the center of the room and gently falls to his knees. He closes his eyes and softly puts his hands together in prayer. That's right. In the past, Ill spent time here with the Apostles of Recollection, and it's the place where he killed them. Ill.
大丈夫です。私はただあの時返せなかった言葉を祈りによって伝えただけ。私と出会ってくれてありがとうと。
I see. I'm sure those two are happy. After closing his eyes in a heart-rending way, oh God, that's the second time they used that word. Il quickly stands back up as though renewing his mood.
ですが、これであなた方が今まで無事に潜伏できていた理由が分かりました。ここは彼らが私の動きを封じた例のジャミングの術式を開発した場所です。端末に残されたデータを使い再構築、結界や監視の目をかいくぐるのに利用していたのですね。
ああ、それ自体を見つけたのは完全な偶然だけどな。地を司る追憶の使徒様が残したものってんなら、ジャミングの強力さにも納得だ。つっても悪用されないためか再構築には回数制限があったけどな。
Due to that, jamming can't be used anymore. He mutters this in a dejected way. Come on, Sasha, words. Then all the information about Caelm and the data records you talked about before are also...
まあその二人だろうよ。
Fuck.
当時は関係ねえとよく見ずに放置してたが、今回のドタバタでそういやこんなもんがあったなと思い出したよ。今となっちゃ随分と気になる記述だぜ。
For some reason, Epilogi is looking at Il with interest.
まあともかくデータを再生するぞ。劣化してるからところどころ欠けてるかもしれないが。
Epilogi starts I can't talk. Epilogi starts, not stops. Let me read this again. Epilogi starts operating it, and the window floating in the air displays text that I can't read. This seems to be the writing of Caelm. The two of them start reading it aloud in a way for me to understand. It was a record left by a certain virtuous scientist who was involved in developing God. Okay, I'll stop. This is a record I leave for self-contention. I pray a person of sound character finds it. As a child, I arrived on this world over a decade ago. Those in power and my fellow scientists are foolish. They disrespect the spirit beasts who are friendly towards us and aim to create forbidden technology. To create an autonomous artificial intelligence for total control over this world. A project to develop God. I thought it truly ludicrous, but unfortunately I seem to possess special talents as a scientist. I was forced to participate in this development project and imprisoned in this laboratory. I cannot hold back my disgust. Maintaining equilibrium is impossible. I'm sure this God would find its human creators unnecessary and exterminate them. Despite my objections, none of my colleagues would listen. Well, that's their fault. Sorry you got dragged up into the mix. In that case, I must I must fight alone. I have little time. Due to the unreasonable development schedule, my body is gnawed away by illness. Oh shit. I'm sure my life will be exhausted by the time God is complete. Before then, I must do something. Unseen by my colleagues, I decided to prepare 2 countermeasures. The first, forgotten by people at the end of prosperity. To preserve a way to return to blank one day, I made the existence of blank completely hidden. What the fuck? If the completed god or people in power realize the existence and function of blank, there is no mistake that they would misuse it. To do this, I made allies of the spirit beast captured in the laboratory as test subjects. Giving them a terminal with a unique concealment system, I succeeded in letting them escape. Using that system combined with the power they wield. Oh, what? Like some Mighty Morphin Power Ranger type shit? Hiding that space itself from visual perception and physical contact using a special barrier succeeded. Therefore, if I die, none will know the existence of that place. If possible, before then, I'd like to escape from here, and even if blank, I'd like to return to dearly missed blank. I also applied a genetic authentication system, so only me as the exception could discover it, but the hopes of that are slim. Also, the next measure is my true intention. After completion, to prepare for God's episode, a way to neutralize all commands and functions. Oh shit. In the end, I will implement a self-destruct failsafe to implement... What the fuck? Why are you saying implement twice? To implement into the artificial intelligence in secret. I shall call it... What? Okay.
Ah, お前に与えられた役割と同じだ。本当ならこのプログラムは神が人間を害した時に発動したんだ。だが
From there, it switches to Ill's friends, a record left by the Apostles of Recollection. However, the virtual scientist made one miscalculation. That putting the judgment program inside of the combat protocol in order to conceal it. That's right. After his death, the completed god created the first angel as a weapon. And he transferred that part of himself into the Apostle of Judgment. Therefore, after parting with it, God could process doing harm to humans without self-destructing. Oh shit. Damn it. Humans, spirit beasts, all existences that threaten perpetuity were killed and used as material for angels. However, in exchange, while the Apostle of Judgment was the most loyal individual to God, he was also the only individual created with the function to destroy God. If he awoke to his own will and determined God to be a threat, he could use that program, turn his blade against God, and overthrow him. Woo! After our shock at the truth, we started talking it over to piece it together. If we could manage to activate the judgment program within Ill, he wouldn't be restrained by a command like before. In fact, he could neutralize the functions of God. Damn, we didn't.
生産者たる私に対し、お前たち天使の攻撃など、霊力の還元に過ぎぬと知れ。
He could even destroy God? This is amazing! To think we found, oh my God, Sasha. To think we found the one way to think Sasha can't read. To think we found the one way to defeat that god. We were at a stalemate before, but now I see a ray of hope.
問題は他にもあるが、ひとまずの手がかりにしちゃ上出来だぜ。
When me and Ipologi looked towards Ill with smiling faces.
なるほど。エピロゲ、その断罪プログラムの設計を記すコードなどは拾えていますか？
ああ、もちろんだ。ただ暗号化が複雑すぎて俺にはちょいと読み解けねえな。
Of course.
私なら解読できるかもしれません。少し見せていただけますか？
Ipologi nods, then switches places with Ill. Ill fiddles with the device as well as the code for the judgment program. It scrolls by at high speed with hundreds of thousands of strange symbols and letters, and after following it with his eyes,
なるほど。完全な解読には時間がかかりますが、確かにこの機能ならば神の打倒が
will it though? Will it be that easy to defeat God? The moment he says this, the movement of Ill's finger stops suddenly. Oh. With wide open eyes, he stares intently at the window and is left speechless. Ill? What's wrong?
何か問題でもあったか？
いえ、その
There it is. What is it?
かなり複雑なコードだったので少々驚いただけです。発動のためのパスワードも3日後には解けるかと。
What?
救済計画の直前じゃねえか。なら死ぬ気で間に合わせねえとな。ただ一つ確認させてくれ。ちょいと心配なことがあって。
Something that worries you?
ああ、この記録を見る限り、断罪プログラムってのは神を自戒させるための機能だ。
Judgment program. A self-destruct function hidden in the combat program by a certain scientist because of his fear of God. It has presently been inherited by Ill.
だからつまり、お前が神そのものとつながらねえと発動できねえってのは間違いねえ。
その必要があるでしょう。その上で彼と私の意識を一時的に同一化させる必要が出てきます。
What? There's a word I can't ignore and interrupt without thinking. What do you mean, merged?
わかりやすく言いますと、再接続とはまた別の機能で神と意識を共有することですね。
Is that really okay? You have to self-destruct after that. Wouldn't you pretty much be destroying yourself? That sounds like it would affect you. Oh no!
ああ、いえ、心配はいりませんよ、ことね。
Are you sure? I'm shaken by unease, but to give me peace of mind, Ill gives me a cheerful smile. I can read y'all, I promise.
というのは神へ自戒を作用させるための一時的なものですから。もともと肉体も分離していますし、私に何ら影響はありませんよ。
But if you mentally self-destruct, that's no better. Really? Then that's good.
では早速この件を皆に知らせましょう。
Woo! That's not what she said. Yeah! Following after a smiling ill, we leave the laboratory. I'm betting Solidus is there. Okay, maybe not. 'Uh-oh. Well, that's not good.